Hey guys, I really quickly wanted to jump on here and give you a hopefully brief video on how to meal plan with your Fix Extreme book and portion control containers. So when you get your challenge pack, you open up your box, you'll get these cute little containers and you're going to think, seriously, that's all the food that I get? And then you're going to get your eating plan book. And this is the one for Fix Extreme. So it's a little bit different than the regular Fix plan. This one's a little bit more strict. When you get this book, the first thing you want to do is go to page 4 or whichever page this falls into the book that you have, and you're going to calculate your caloric target for your day. And how you do that is you take your current weight times your activity level, which it would either fall into multiply times 11, 12, or 13, depending on if you have a pretty sedentary lifestyle or an active lifestyle. And I fall into the first bracket because I sit at a desk for 12 hours or 11 hours out of the day. And sure, I get up and I do things, but for the most part, I'm sitting behind a desk. So I would fall into that first bracket. And then with that, you calculate, you get your baseline number and you add 450, and that's your calorie burn. So that's for your workouts. So when you're calculating how much food you should be consuming, it's taking into account how many calories you're burning. So you need to be doing the workouts or you're going to be consuming more than you're burning and you're not going to lose weight. So it's important that it's 30 minutes. You can bust your butt for 30 minutes and burn some calories, and it will average out. Some days you're going to have a higher, depending on the workout, you're going to have a higher caloric burn, and other days it's going to be less. Like I wear a heart rate monitor, and some days I'll end my workout at just under 600 calorie burn, and other days I'm barely reaching 300. So it depends on the workout. But average through the week, it'll be right around 450 a day. And that's why you're adding that into that equation. And then once you get that number, we're going to subtract 750 calories from that number. And that's to average a 2 pound a week weight loss. Some people are going to lose a little bit more. Some people will lose a little bit less depending on your activity level and where you fall in the calorie bracket, like towards the higher end or the lower end. It's basically, are you consuming more calories than you're burning? So you want to be aware of what you're eating because that's really important. Once you get that number, you're going to go over to page 5 and you're going to see the calorie chart here. And it has 6 different actually, columns, and it starts at 1200 to 1499 calorie bracket all the way up to 2500 to 2800 calorie bracket. So depending on which number you ended up with, you would plug yourself in there, and then that bracket tells you how many of each containers you get to eat per day. So I fall into the first category, which is 1200 to 1499 calories a day, and that's how much I can consume, which means I get 3 greens, 2 purples, 4 reds, 2 yellows, 1 blue, 1 orange, and 2 teaspoons. And pretty much I think everybody gets the same of the last 3. So everybody only gets 1 blue, 1 orange, and 2, everybody only gets 1 blue and 2 orange. The teaspoon amount increases as the calorie bracket increases. So the way that I plan my meal usually for my work week, I'll do 3 or 4 days at a time, is like this. And I'm sorry it's backwards, but I write out the containers that I have, so green, purple, red, yellow, blue, orange, and teaspoon, and then I write BSLSDS, so that's breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack. And what I do is I go with my reds first. I get 4 of those, and I base my meals around my protein anyway, so it just makes more sense. So for breakfast is on my work day, I always have 2 hard-boiled eggs. I always have Shakeology for lunch. I always have chicken for lunch. Shakeology for snack, chicken for lunch, and then when I come home, I'll have my last protein. So that's what I did. So 2 hard-boiled eggs, Shakeology, chicken, and then I put salmon because that's what I'm having for dinner today. So then once I wrote 4 reds out, I scratched it out. And then I moved over to the greens because that's the next highest container I get. That's the next one in line, and that's your vegetables. Now, if you have a question about what goes in each container, the next section is your container food groups. And you just flip to whichever color you're looking for. And on the opposite page, it has a list of all the foods that go in there. The higher it is towards the top of the list, the healthier, the better it is for you. So once you start eating off the bottom of the list, if all your foods are off the bottom of the list, they're not as nutritionally dense as the ones on the top ones, as the ones that are towards the top of the list. So like tomato sauce, obviously, is not going to have as many nutrients as raspberries and blueberries. Common sense, but for some of the other group categories, it's not as obvious. So anyway, then I go down to greens and I'm going to have a mix of carrots, peas, snap peas, and tomatoes for my breakfast. And you can do that. You can combine foods as long as it's only one container. Or if you're going to have two containers, like sometimes for lunch I'll have chicken and a salad, and my salads will be things stuffed full of greens, and then like half a container of tomatoes, cucumbers, and other vegetables that I would put in there. So it's a pretty hearty salad, but it's 2 containers or a container and a half of greens. And you can do that. But the way that I basically do this every day for work, to keep it simple and to keep it easy, is 2 hard-boiled eggs is a red, my mix of carrots, snap peas, and tomatoes is a green, and then a quarter of an avocado, which is a blue. And then I usually have a half a banana in my Shakeology. That's 1 purple and 1 red. And then chicken, mixed vegetables, sweet potatoes. That's red, green, and yellow. I'll have an apple with almond butter, and that takes care of my 2 teaspoons. And then salmon, some sort of vegetable, likely broccoli, and then sweet potato, which is my second yellow. And then for snack, I'll just have some nuts. And that's usually before, like in the evening, if I'm busy working or working on my laptop or something, I'll usually have something to snack on just to keep my hands busy, and it falls into my meal plan. I'm not overeating. So I think that's it. That should be pretty self-explanatory. If you have any other questions, feel free to message me. I'm always available to answer questions, especially about the meal plan. I think it's super easy to follow, and this thing is worth its weight in gold. So good luck to all of you. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer them.